Here is a review that you were expecting. So number 5, we have Fundbox. Our score, 8.6 over 10. One thing we love about Fundbox is that it really provides direct loans for business loans for bad credit. If you have fair credit, they'll take care of you also. The maximum amount for Fundbox loans, $150,000. And we love the fact that they give you a very generous term length, 12 to 24 weeks. I mean, you might be thinking it's not too long, but when we talk about alternative lenders, 1 year to 2 years, that's pretty generous. So Fundbox, you have 1 to 2 years. That's the term length. That's the tenor. Minimum credit score 550 to 600, depending on the state you're applying from. And they want you to have minimum time in business 6 months. Okay, and the time to funding here, they're really fast. Next business day, fantastic. I want to walk you through the pros and cons of Fundbox. So the pros, you can receive a decision within minutes. And Fundbox does not have application, origination, or early repayment fees, which is really refreshing. We love that a lot. Now about the cons. Now, short term, the thing is that Fundbox can be a little strict when it comes to repayment. They want you to have weekly repayment. Sometimes we have seen clients, business clients, who were actually forced to make payments twice a week. The thing is that Fundbox is thinking about, they're looking at your credit profile and thinking, okay, the higher your credit risk, the higher they will ask you, the more often they will ask you to make payments. So those are things you need to think about. And in terms of another disadvantage in our view is that Fundbox sometimes will require you to have at least $100,000 in annual revenue to qualify. So even though Fundbox offers quick loans for bad credit, they still want to make sure that you have the liquidity to actually qualify. Okay, because those loans have to be repaid, and they want to make sure that they are actually paid on time. But overall, we love the fact that Fundbox is very, very flexible. Okay, they offer loans. They are great if you need fast access to funds, you're looking for ongoing financing, or you're looking for a flexible repayment term. This is really good. And the thing is that Fundbox small business financing is really great. Okay, they offer business line of credit. They even have a program called Fundbox Plus, which is really great. So overall, this is a great lender that we actually recommend, not a problem. So Fundbox, our score, 8.6 over 10. Number 4, we have here On Deck, our score, 8.8 over 10. By the way, welcome back to the show. Really appreciate having you here. It's just been wonderful. And take some notes, and we'll share with you a lot of great information. Let me talk to you about On Deck. The maximum amount you can borrow from On Deck is $250,000. So you're looking at $250,000. Term length after 24 months. The interest rate here is kind of high though. So you are looking at 20 to 30%. That's the minimum. This is kind of high. And in terms of credit score, they will ask you anywhere from 550 to 625. That's the minimum. And the range depends on the state you're applying from. And minimum time in business, 12 months. And for On Deck, we also have time to funding, same day, not a problem. What are the pros and cons of On Deck? Pros, same day funding. This is really good. They have prepayment and loyalty benefits. This is really good also. In terms of cons, they're not available in Nevada, North Dakota, or South Dakota. So they have some kind of issues in terms of banking licensing in those states. And On Deck requires you to have at least $100,000 in annual gross revenue to qualify. That's gross revenue, not net income. Okay, so this is kind of cool. But On Deck is kind of cool, and we love the fact that they will work with you. They have also a constellation of loan programs. They have business lines of credit. Okay, and in terms of prepayment penalties, what we love is that sometimes On Deck can waive those prepayment penalties. Okay, now the thing here is that it has to do with the term of the loan, the tenor of the loan. If you have a short-term loan and you prepay, then they're losing money. Then they might charge you. Okay, but if you have a long-term loan, let's say 2 years or more than 2 years, they'll work with you to kind of help you out. And but so to be eligible, just make sure that you actually. It's important to always contact On Deck first to have a conversation with the loan rep, so you know that basically you kind of qualify for their loan. And there are some industries, some categories of clients, business clients, they never lend to. So if you are in adult entertainment, you do drug dispensary, firearms, government, nonprofit or civic organizations, horoscope or fortune telling, gaming industries such as casinos, raffles or lotteries, rooming and boarding houses, money service businesses, they will not lend to you. No, so don't even try. Number 3, we have Fora Financial. Our score, 9/10. I just want to quickly remind you, boss, of today's conversation. The topic is the top 5 direct lenders for business loans, bad or fair, personal credit, and low doc. For us, the most important thing here is there are 2 things that are important: bad credit accepted, and also low documentation. In other words, you have minimum paperwork to submit. Okay, and when we talk about Fora Financial, Fora is really generous. They are more generous than On Deck and Fundbox. They actually can give you up to $750,000. So you were looking at $750,000. This is really great. We love that. And so basically, but the only thing is, in terms of tenor of the loan, the term length, up to 15 months. So you have a shorter repayment window, but you have a larger amount, which means what? It means that you must have solid cash flow if you were to be approved for a larger amount, because those payments, those monthly payments, will be really, really, really quick. They'll be large also. So Fora wants you to have a minimum FICO score of 500. Okay, minimum time in business, 6 months. In terms of funding, they take longer than On Deck and Fundbox. They take 3 days to kind of fund you. Okay, so this is kind of cool. Now, what about the pros and cons? The pros, they have relatively fast funding times. Even if it's three days, you're still looking at it's kind of fast when you compare it to other lenders, right? You have early payoff discounts. In terms of cons, in terms of drawbacks, they require $12,000 a month in gross sales to qualify, and you cannot have any open or dismissed bankruptcy within the past year. So that's really important to actually remember. So who is Fora Financial for, really? So Fora is for you. It's for your business if you are clear on your financing needs, if you don't have stellar credit, okay, and if you don't need the money immediately. Why? Because it can take up to 3 days, as I said earlier, to get funding if you're approved. Okay, that's a lot quicker than most traditional bank loans, but there are many other online lenders that offer same-day funding for true emergencies. So you're talking about On Deck, for example. You are talking about Fundbox also. Okay, but overall, Fora is a great player that you might want to consider if you're interested in low doc business loans, fair or bad credit, and direct lenders. Fantastic. So Fora Financial, 9/10. Number 2, we have Bluevine. Our score, 9.5/10. We love Bluevine for several reasons. Bluevine is great when it comes to business line of credit, working capital, okay, low doc. You're talking about very minimal paperwork required, and the maximum amount you can actually finance through Bluevine is $250,000. So you're looking at $250,000. The term length, 6 to 12 months. So this is shorter. This is even shorter. Okay, the interest rate starts around 6.20%. The minimum FICO score that Bluevine wants, it really oscillates around 575 to 625. Bluevine wants you to be in business for 6 months minimum, and time to funding 1 to 3 business days. Okay, that's kind of decent if you think about it. Okay, and what are the pros and cons? Let's talk about the pros and cons here. So the pros, you only pay for what you use because it's a revolving line of credit. But sometimes what we have seen, actually we haven't seen it, we have experienced it. We have business clients who are able to transform their business line of credit into an installment loan. If you're a good client for Blue Vine, they'll take care of you. They'll actually do the transformation for you. Okay, so they also have fast funding times. This is really good. And the Blue Vine is not available. So those are the pros. What about the cons? Blue Vine is not available in Nevada, North Dakota, or South Dakota, and they require $10,000 in monthly revenue to qualify. So those are things you have to think about. If you have a business that's been a little slow in terms of generating revenue, then this could be a problem for you. You can find it very complicated to qualify for Blue Vine. Otherwise, the company is really great. Okay, and so when we talk about Blue Vine in general, they offer small business financing. Okay, and the thing here is that they actually wants to make sure that they give you the cash. They actually cover a smorgasbord of industries. I'm talking about auto dealerships, nonprofits that operate through donations. They actually have also they do online. Okay, they do online. Now, for the nonprofit to actually qualify, they must have at least 5 years of verifiable financial statements. Okay, otherwise Blue Vine is a little more strict on that. There are some institutions that they really ban. They don't lend to anything about cryptocurrency. Insurance companies, financial institutions, they don't do that. Okay, they really don't do that. Adults, penny auction companies and so on and so forth, they do not do that. Number 1, Taycor Financial, the best of the best. In our view, when it comes to the top 5 direct lenders for business loans, bad or fair personal credit, low doc, fast approval, you are looking at Taycor Financial. Our score, 9.8 over 10. One thing we love about Taycor is that now Taycor, they will give you money up to $2 million. Okay, and the term length 12 to 84 months. The thing is, the longer the repayment window, then you can only take from Taycor equipment loans. But they do everything though. They do everything. But if they have to give you money for a long term, this better be attached to a business asset, machinery, equipment, that kind of stuff. Okay, so $2 million, that's the maximum amount. The interest rates that they can give you starts at around 3.49%. Minimum credit score 550. They can even go lower if you are going for equipment financing, because in those types of arrangement, as you know, the collateral, the machinery becomes the collateral. So Taycor knows they have the title to the property, right? Something were to happen, if you were to default on the loan, they'll just repo the assets, not a problem. What are the pros and cons of Taycor Financial? So the pros, you have quick funding time. So this is really good. We love that a lot. So they will fund you within 4 to 24 hours. They're really fast. Okay, we've seen cases where they actually funded one of our clients within 7 hours. This was fantastic, and it was a deal that was around $1 million. So that was a big deal for them. That was a big deal for them and for Taycor also. So the pros: quick funding time. You have potential for lower rates and larger loans, and you have a wide range of lending products to choose from. What about the cons? They're not very transparent in terms of pricing. They may require a personal guarantee in some cases, and they may charge an origination fee depending on the transactions. Okay, so overall, when we talk about Taycor, we talk about a constellation of loans. So you have equipment financing. They also offer working capital loans. Okay, so they have term loans, they have lines of credits, they have accounts receivable factoring, they have merchant cash advances. So Taycor is really all over the place, and I mean, in a good way though. They actually that's what we call a one-stop shop. So they actually will take care of you, whatever you need. Just need to talk to them. But overall, they're a great company, great lender. We love them. And so Taycor, 9.8 over 10. If you have made it so far, I just want to reward you with a bonus here. And so we have in the process of researching for this video, we have found another great player when it comes to the top 5 direct lenders for business loans, bad or fair credit. We have QuickBridge. and our score 8.2 over 10. So when you think about quick bridge, you have to think about a player that will grant you up to a half a million dollars. So we're having $500,000. The term length up to 24 months. Okay, minimum credit score 600, and sometimes they will go all the way to a 550. We have seen this before, not a problem. And minimum time in business 6 months, and they can fund you within 24 hours. So this is really good. And what we love about quick bridge is that here are the pros. By the way, they have no hidden fees, so you are talking about full transparency, which is kind of rare when we talk about lenders, especially alternative lenders. And they have funding options for minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses as well. So this is really good. It's kind of refreshing to see that. What about the cons? Well, they require at least $250,000 in annual gross sales to qualify. So the gross revenue, not the net, the gross revenue should be at least $250,000. And they do have some kind of, their process can be sometimes complicated in terms of their interest rates. Okay, so this is kind of cool, but overall, we think this is a great player. And so when we talk about quick bridge, we are speaking about working capital, equipment financing, and bridge loans. So they also have a variety of loans, so not a problem. Now, who should apply? Well, it depends on what kind of financing you're looking for. I want you to think about the use of loan proceeds, and I also want you to think about the repayment window. Okay, one thing we know for sure is that QuickBridge, they are very, very flexible with their repayment window. So this is kind of fine. And QuickBridge, by the way, is owned by another player in this industry, National Funding. Okay, so QuickBridge is actually based in California, but they are owned by National Funding, which we have reviewed extensively on this show. So it is a legit player. And so we think QuickBridge is definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Give them a call and see how things go. So I want to give you, let's just have a general overview of when we speak about business loans, bad or fair, personal credit, low doc, because low doc is important for us. You need to understand that those loans comes in different shapes and forms, and categories. Okay, you have term loans, you have secure loans, you have lines of credit, you have working capital loans, you have equipment financing, you have invoice factoring, you have merchant cash advances. Okay, so the thing here is that you have to actually be clear about what kind of funding program you are looking for. Don't you go for a funding program just because you think you'll get the cash real quick. No, I mean, listen, it's not about, hey, I can get funded within 2 days, within 24 hours. That's why I'm going to apply for a term loan versus a working capital loan. You want to go for a loan that actually fits your needs, because you're going to have to repay that loan. And if the loan is not in sync with the underlying need for which you apply for the loan in the first place, what will happen here is that you might have a cash flow gap, or you will have a cash flow gap that will actually prevent you from honoring the loan, and you don't want that. Okay, so you have to understand that those lenders that I just talked to you about, obviously they will accept your bad credit, or your fair credit for that matter, but they will also check your business credit score if applicable. So what I'm trying to say here is that don't say, well, I just checked my credit score. I think I'm fine. Even if I am 500 or 550, I don't see any derogatory items. Everything else is kind of clean. Yes, but have you checked your business credit score? Because the lenders, they will check everything. They will check your personal credit score, your personal credit report. They will check your business. They have Dun & Bradstreet subscription. They have a subscription to Equifax business. They have subscription to Experian business, because the whole thing is they want to collect data on you. They want to collect data on your business. They want to actually gather intel on your business. All right. I mean, especially if the loan amounts are kind of high. I mean, nobody's going to lend you $1 million and not do research on you. I mean, it's called due diligence. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's legal. Everybody has to cover their ass, especially the lender. If they're giving you a lot of cash, they need to cover their ass. So that's just what it is. So how do you actually get a loan with bad credit? I mean, what are the tips? What are the tricks that you have to follow? What are the things you have to do? Well, everything starts with you checking your credit scores, because we've seen a lot of folks say, well, I think I have bad credit. I think I'm around 550. I think I'm around 600. But in reality, when they check their credit score, they realize, hey, listen, I'm actually around 675. And that's a big deal. 500 versus 675, or 600 versus 600 versus 675. That's a big gap. That's a big chasm. So you always want to ascertain your credit score. And this sort of advice applies for the business credit score as well. So you got to check them. I mean, when it comes to your personal credit score, you can check them for free. But when it comes to your business credit reports, you might have to pay for them. And you would have to pay for them. But it is an investment. Don't you be like a greedy ass and say, I ain't spending money on this, blah, 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 blah. No. Check your business credit report even before you apply for a business loan of that nature. That way, if there are issues, you have a chance, you know your legwork. You know exactly that you have to fix certain things before you even approach the lenders, because those lenders, once they actually put you into their system, they actually have a whole process for verifying every piece of information you provide to them, every iota of information that you provide to them. Okay, so this is why I think you have to verify everything. And so you check your credit scores, look for ways to improve your credit, so you can get better rates, pay your bills on time, reduce debts, renegotiate interest rates, monitor your credit, watch your business credit. You got a business credit card if needed. You want to calculate how much you could borrow, because it's important that you borrow the right amount, not too much, not too little. Consider a co-signer, for example. Maybe your business, you have a partner, somebody who can actually vouch for you. Why not? And also think about the business plan, the business application, the loan application documents, such as business plan, right? Sometimes the lender will ask you for business and or personal bank account. For example, Bluevine will want you to connect your business account directly to their systems. They're not even checking your bank statements. They're asking you to actually connect them to the source. That way they have a clear idea whether or not you are a potential risk, or whether or not your cash flows are decent. Thank you so much. Let me quickly, here is the approach we actually follow when we evaluate loans. We follow a very strict approach when it comes to loan evaluation, categorization, and assessment. So here it is. Check this out. Thank you so much. I want to quickly recap here. We have Takeover Financial, 9.8 over 10. We have here number 2. We have Bluevine, 9.5 over 10. Number 3, we have Fora Financial, 9 over 10. Number 4, we have On Deck, 8.8 over 10. Number 5, we have Fundbox. Our score, 8.6 over 10. And in the bonus category, we have Quick Bridge. Our score, 8.2 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.